This is video 18, PTSD series, stress, anxiety. This one will be a short one, and it's going to be very simple, what I'm going to talk about. And it's about being optimistic. So our brains are hardwired naturally to be optimistic people. And helping, optimism helps greatly with stress, PTSD, and anxiety, because when you are optimistic, you are positive, you are motivated, knowing of a good future, that dopamine is releasing and you are happy. When you are pessimistic, you are judging somebody, and you have that judgment because you have a slight fear of something is not right, and that causes more stress. They've done analysis of the brain where they've attached the functional MRIs, and brains of optimistic people are firing a lot more than that of a pessimistic person. And in fact, when they analyze the brain and test, it shows that the portions of the brain that start to malfunction when someone is depressed is the same portion that is on fire when you are showing optimistic behavior. And so part of being optimistic is also finding the positive in everything you see, striving to only say positive stuff. And that is what I'm challenging everyone to do. Right now, when you see this video, maybe you want to start tomorrow. Let's see how many days you can go without only saying positive stuff about somebody. Nothing negative. I mean, it's anything you see. Somebody cooks a cake. I almost said somebody builds a cake. That's what Pedro said on Napoleon Dynamite. Maybe you should build her a cake. Pedro, he's my man. But anyway, let me show you what I just did. And it was unintentionally, and I just realized it because it goes right into what I talk about. I just kind of, he tried to cut a Spanish accent and making fun of Pedro as a Hispanic because he wasn't using vocabulary properly. That rolls me right into what I want to talk about now. That is called a microaggression. I didn't mean to do it on purpose, but I said something negative about Pedro on Napoleon Dynamite, a Hispanic, made fun of him using the wrong verb about making a cake, and I tried to make his accent. That is a microaggression. So a microaggression is something that it's not something we purposely do. We unintentionally say something that would offend someone that identifies them as like a stereotype. It's like you could have a black friend, and someone could say, your black friend's the whitest friend I've ever seen, you know? And it's like, so what makes them that? Are you describing specific characteristics that put people in different categories? You know, there's one, so my daughter's, how long ago? About 5 years ago, I mean, we had the three of the kids all doing kids MMA. Now you heard, hey, you punch like a girl. What does that mean? You punch like a girl? So I tell you, come see if my daughter is punched like a girl. Or a power kick. Get a power kick from one of them when they're doing MMA and see if that is kicking like a girl. So that is how you're gonna watch to be nice to everybody. Watch your microaggressions. You see somebody, yeah, I mean, people have their own style of dress. People are always making fun of baggy pants, and because they associate it with maybe crime. So maybe you have a very highly educated African male with a doctorate's degree, smarter than the person judging them, but he likes his pants baggy. He may not be in the office. He's out on the streets having fun, enjoying his time. His pants are baggy. He's driving a nice Mercedes, and you say, that guy probably sells drugs. That's where he got it. That is a microaggression. And what is difficult about the microaggressions, we don't realize that we're saying them. We don't, you know, if it's intentionally, it's not quite a microaggression. It is a racist act. And microaggressions mainly kind of go into the bias, where the way we're raised and what we see in society. So part of striving to only say the positive is watch for your microaggressions. Make sure you're not saying things like that. It's like, oh, it must be nice to be, it's like, oh, he's got good healthcare, he's in the military, like whatever, anything that could potentially offend. It's like, yes, I got good healthcare, but I've deployed so many times, my mind is nuts. It's like a trade-off, things like that. But purposely go out, and as you look on social media, as you interact with anything, think first before you say something. And let's see, post in the comments, I've made it X amount of days without saying something negative. And you will be happier, I guarantee you. It's because that is how the brain is wired. It's science, man. It's like, that's how it's gonna work. You say the positive about everything around you, and even force yourself. I mean, you sit down and someone makes you some dinner and that it tastes gross. I'll give you an example. So when I was in Argentina as a missionary and with some real poor families, I mean, some of the food, I had forced myself to swallow it. I should have been like Fear Factor, but forcing myself to find the good because they were scraping to the bottom of the barrel to give me some food. I felt so good inside to say that. Saying nice stuff makes everyone around you. And do you know what may happen? What if there is someone around you that is having severe depression and they need assistance? And you may simply smile at them and you may say, those are some really nice shoes, or that was pretty cool how, you dived off the diving, or something nice and nothing negative. Not only will that help you mentally, but you may have just saved a life. You may have just completely turned around someone's point of view. And if you want to go deeper and deeper, you may have saved more lives. What if that person's life you just saved could potentially motivate somebody else to save their lives? I mean, that's what it's all about, is saving lives. So let's see how long. You post in the comments, how many days can you go with saying only positive things?